The first air you breathe is dust. Not the clean dust of fields or roads, but the chalky, grinding dust of the via that cuts past your village like a scar. It hangs in the air, stirred endlessly by the tramp of hobnailed sandals, 8 nails per sole, striking stone in perfect rhythm. Welcome to the world, boy. You are born a son of Rome, though no one asks if you want that honour. Your weight is measured, your limbs are judged. A recruiting centurion passing through the vicus pauses by your cradle, glances once and nods. That nod seals more of your fate than any prayer ever will. Your destiny is not written in the stars. It is written in ledgers. Where other boys dream of glory, of laurel crowns and speeches in the forum, you learn the brutal arithmetic of survival. How much weight a man can carry before his knees give out. How many miles can be marched before discipline replaces pain. How many men must die before a line breaks. Your lullaby is not a mother's song. It is the cadence of drill. Unus, duo, tres, quatuor. The sound drifts down from the fort on the hill every dawn and dusk. It beats into you like a second heart. That rhythm becomes your master, your comfort, the drumbeat of your grave. Your home is a wattle and daub hut on the empire's fraying edge, where the map fades into forests labelled, "Here be enemies." Veterans bow when they pass your father, a limping ex-miles with a twisted knee and a scar that never healed right. But their eyes hold respect. He stood the line. That matters. They call boys like you cannon fodder in Camp Latin, not cruelly, just accurately. The Empire needs bodies. It needs backs to bend, arms to lift shields, feet to march roads into wilderness. It does not need names, not yet. When you take your first steps, you don't run. You march, straight, determined, toward the well, a tiny parody of discipline. Your first word isn't mater, it's pilum. The order of things is already settling into your bones. Childhood is brief and merciless. While the merchant's son learns his numbers and letters, you are handed a wooden sword and a wicker shield. You strike a post until your palms blister and split. If you cry, your father turns away. Not from cruelty, but because tears waste water. Your playground is the ditch beyond the palisade. There you learn what waits outside the limes. Hunger, cold, raiders with painted faces and iron blades. You learn that hesitation gets the man next to you killed. You also learn the centurion's vitis, the vine stick cane. It strikes faster than any barbarian axe and hurts more because it carries Rome's authority. Pain becomes instruction. Obedience becomes instinct. Your daily routine is simple and endless. Chop wood until your back hardens like iron. Haul water until your shoulders knot into stone. Drill until movement replaces thought. Other boys learn poetry. You learn survival. The sound of a disciplined century moving as one is a single monstrous rustle. Leather, iron, breath. The sound of a breaking line is worse. Wet, panicked, many-throated screaming. Girls of the vicus sigh for the cavalry with their horses and plumes. They call you mule for the pack you'll carry. You smell of smoke, leather, and the sour tang of fear sweat you pretend not to notice. Your hair is cropped short against lice. Your body thickens, not into beauty, but into function. You don't have friends. You have tent mates, 8 men bound together by shared misery, shared bread, and shared death. Your formal training begins with breaking. They break your walk. They break your speech. They break your sense of self. You are no longer Gaius or Marcus. You are recruit. The individual is weakness, the Optio roars. The legion is strength. You are a nail in the boot of Rome. Be sharp or be hammered flat. Citizenship is not a right. It is a discipline beaten into you. You learn to stand in formation under the sun until men collapse where they stand. You learn to build a camp, ditch, rampart, palisade in 3 hours, every day, no matter how far you marched. Do it slowly, and you eat last. Do it wrong, and you are beaten. Wake before dawn to the scream of the butina. 20 miles in full kit. Drill, fortify, collapse into your tent while your muscles sing hymns of pain. By 16, your feet are a tapestry of scars. March foot never truly leaves you. You can tell a centurion's mood by the tilt of his crest, the angle of his vine stick. First blood comes at 17. A punitive raid across the river. The enemy howls, all beard and fury and animal courage. One charges you. You don't think. You can't. Your shield rises, your gladius thrusts. He dies on your blade, hot blood slicking your hand. There is no triumph, no glory, only a hollow cold that settles into your chest. That night, the leader of your contubernium slaps your back and hands you sour wine. First one's the hardest, he says. Now you're a soldier. The emptiness stays. At 19 you swear the sacramentum. Your hands do not shake as you raise them to the eagle. Cowardice now dishonors not just you, but the men beside you, and Rome itself. The scutum becomes more than wood and leather. It is the lives of your brothers pressed against your arm. The centurion watches everything. His vites corrects mistakes before they become deaths. Your blood pact is not with Rome. It is with the men in your line. In your first true battle, a Germanic charge crashes into you like a storm. The man to your right, Lucius, takes a spear through the gut. He collapses against you, gasping, eyes wide with shock. The shield wall closes. You fight with his blood running down your arm. Remember him, the Optio snarls. Now fight for 2. It sounds noble, until you realize it's a debt you will never finish paying. You will fight for Lucius, and for every ghost that joins the line. Nothing terrifies you like the testudo. The darkness, the crushing closeness, the thunder of missiles on shields above you. It is the total erasure of self. Your first successful siege, advancing as a single armored beast, feels like invincibility. Your first rout, when the line breaks and men flee, burns hotter than fever. At dawn, the cohort assembles in silence. This is not routine punishment. This is something meant to be remembered. The man who dropped the standard is dragged forward. Fear has hollowed him out. The tribune steps into the square and raises his staff, not to strike, but to mark. Fustuarium. It is the punishment reserved for moments when fear threatens the line itself. Discipline must be restored by terror. Clubs are placed into your hands. You are ordered into a circle. The tribune touches the condemned man lightly with the rod, severing him from the legion. He is no longer Roman. He is an offering to order. You strike because the law demands it, because the centurion is watching, because hesitation would mark you next. The legion does not speak of it afterward. That is the point. The silence seals the lesson deeper than blood ever could. Campaign follows campaign. Names of places blur. Forest, river, hill. Different maps, same killing. The enemy changes faces, but not tactics. You burn villages. You escort prisoners. You stand guard while governors make speeches about order and civilization. You don't choose Rome's wars. Men in marble halls draw lines on parchment. Princes, senators, emperors. Names change, hunger doesn't. You are the line made flesh. The real enemy isn't the barbarian, it's distance. damp that never dries, rotten grain, the loneliness that settles in a man and never leaves. Your specialty becomes the dolabra. You dig roads through swamps where men sink to their knees. You raise bridges across rivers that try to kill you in spring floods. You carve aqueducts through living rock. You impose Roman order with shovel and sword, turning wilderness into something legible to power. You build the empire. Rome grows. Then the administrators arrive to tax it, measure it, and claim it. And you march on. One day, your century is chosen to lead a column across a bridge you helped build. The stones are still pale. The mortar smells new. For a moment, you feel something like pride. Then you count the men missing from the line. You are 25. Half your original tent mates are dead. 15 years of service remain. You become a munis, a specialist, because you can read and keep accounts. You handle payrolls and pensions. The pressure is quiet and crushing. One mistake starves families you'll never meet. In battle, you hold a hillside, while waves of enemies break against you. Your centurion nods. Good wall. He gets a triumph. You get extra wine. A fever sweeps the camp. You nurse men. You bury them. You write letters home. He died with honor. The words turn to ash. You become Old Rock. Reliable. Always in front. Respect means exposure. Recruits are placed under you. You try to spare them, but softness kills. You teach them to be nails. Your knees grind. Your hearing dulls. Tedium vitae settles into you, a deep soldier's fatigue that sleep never touches. Your savings are small. Your reward will be land you've never seen. An old wound stiffens. You can't keep pace. You're moved to training duty. A kindness that feels like exile. At 45, your service ends. A bronze diploma. A pension. A plot in Numidia. On the voyage, a storm hits. Panic spreads. You shout the old cadence, organize a bucket line, save the ship. The Greek captain offers payment. What are you? He asks. You look past him, back to the road, the camp, the line. I am Rome. For once, it feels true. You die under a hot sun, vines growing straight as legionary roads. No monument bears your name. But the road you built still stands. And on it, the endless tread of hobnailed sandals continues. Sometimes, after a lifetime, as one shield among thousands, the shield itself becomes the only identity that mattered. And in its enduring shape, there is a kind of immortality.